Hello and welcome back to Viper Bites, and I'm Matt Donnelly, and we are going to continue to break down some of the top prospects heading into the NFL draft with our continued prospect profile series here, and we are going to go to Kentucky and talk about wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, Robinson, the former Mr. Football, the former Gatorade Kentucky Player of the Year, originally committed to Kentucky before ultimately going to Nebraska to play for Scott Frost there and the Huskers. Now, during his high school tenure, though, Robinson, he was next level electrifying. He totaled 8,582 yards from scrimmage with 118 touchdowns. He gained 6,795 of those yards, averaging 11 yards per carry while scoring 97 rushing touchdowns. He also caught 102 passes for his career for 1,787 yards and another 21 touchdowns. Now, we talked about him going to Nebraska, but he ended up transferring back to Kentucky for the 2021 season to be closer to his hometown of Frankfort. Now, at 5'11", 185 pounds, Wan'Dale Robinson is not exactly what you consider a big man on campus, but he plays much bigger than he appears to be. His 40-yard dash, 4.44, vertical, 34.5, broad jump, 118. Speed score, 25th percentile at 85.8. Burst score, 36th percentile at 118.5. College dominator, 37.3%. That's in the 75th percentile. Now, his college target share. Now, this is absolutely unbelievable. 39.3%. That is in the 99th percentile. And we talk about breakout age. He broke out at 18.7 years of age. So, as a freshman, 95th percentile. So let's go back to that freshman season in Nebraska. That first season at Nebraska, Robinson got some playing time, playing in 10 games and earning 3 starting assignments at receiver and 1 at the running back position. He totaled 1,029 all-purpose yards as a true freshman, which ranks second on the team and was the third highest total ever by a Husker true freshman. And those all-purpose yardage totals, that would rank 4th nationally among all FBS programs among freshmen. He would also finish with 40 receptions for 443 yards and 2 touchdowns while rushing for another 340 yards and 3 scores. You kind of get the play here. The Huskers kind of use him just about everywhere. He did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He did it all well. Now, in 2020, Robinson would gain 240 yards on the ground and average 5.2 yards per carry, while adding 51 receptions for 461 yards in the passing game. He would rank 4th in the Big Ten and 23rd nationally with 6.4 receptions per game, and his 696 all-purpose yards, again, would lead the Huskers offense. Again, another shortened season there in the Big Ten. Let's forward this to 2021. Robinson earned a few more accolades in 2021, and it's easy to see why after a 104 reception season that led to 1,334 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, some of those accolades include second team all SEC according to the AP and the coaches. First team all SEC from Phil Steele and PFF. Second team all American from PFF. Ranked 4th nationally and 2nd in the SEC in receptions per game, averaging 8 per contest. He ranked 11th nationally and 2nd in the SEC in total receiving yards with that 1,334, which was also a new single-season record at Kentucky. He ranked 12th nationally and 2nd in the SEC in receiving yards per game with 102.6. He also had 6 100-yard games, and only he and Randall Cobb were able to record multiple 12-reception games in Wildcat history. Now, if we were looking at the highest season-long PFF grade by an SEC receiver since 2014, you have the 2020 season there by Devontae Smith, 94.9 grade. The 2014 season by Amari Cooper, 92.8. And in 2021, Wan'Dale Robinson, 91.3. That's pretty good company to keep. Now, when we look at the strengths and the weaknesses of the Kentucky receiver, strengths, gains separation by adjusting his speed and loses defenders quickly by changing direction. He gets on top of DBs in a hurry and can leverage that downfield coverage. He plays tough. He plays like Steve Smith. He just plays angry, and I love it. Now, hey, he's small, 5'11", 185 pounds. How does he do against press coverage? He can beat press coverage. Highest graded wide receivers versus press coverage last season. Jordan Addison, 90. Drake London, 90.5. Wan'Dale Robinson, number 1 at 91.6. Most receiving yards against press coverage in the SEC last season. Number 3, Treylon Burks, 714. Number 2, John Mechie, 717 yards. Number 1, you guessed it, Wan'Dale Robinson, 733. That's pretty solid company again. Now, when we talk about weaknesses, he needs to work on sharpening those routes, making sure that he's not rounding them off, coming off those breaks nice and hard. Now, obviously, one thing that he can't fix is that size, that catch radius. That is somewhat limited because of his frame. What is not limited is your access to some of the best information out there as it pertains to these prospects. And you can get it right here at the Fantasy Points 2022 NFL Prospect Guide. You get 200 plus rookie profiles courtesy of NFL Films, Greg Cassell. You also get contributions there from Wes Hubert, John Hansen, Scott Baird, Graham Barfield, and Joe Dolan. Film analysis, strengths, weaknesses, NFL transitions, measurables, combine results, mock drafts, rankings, both in the rookie and the Devy world. One-stop shop, all for $25. You're not going to get a better deal on a magazine out there. You want more deals? Okay, head to fantasypoints.com. Use Vipers22 as a promo code and get 10% off that subscription today. You get analytics, you name it, you got it. It's a one-stop shop for all your fantasy football needs. Now let's get back to Wan'Dale Robinson. I love Wan'Dale Robinson and just about everything he does. Robinson, he's going to become a dream come true for an offensive coordinator who's not afraid to dream, who's not afraid to reach for those starts. Don't be surprised if he's penciled in as a slot guy, but he's much, much more than that. He's like if Deebo Samuel and Steve Smith had a baby. That's basically who Wan'Dale Robinson is. He can line up inside. He can line out outside. He can line up behind the quarterback. You want to line him up? You can line him up anywhere on the field, and he is as tough as they come. He plays it with that chip on his shoulder, and he can go from 0 to 60 in a blink of an eye. Now, he's not going to be one of those guys who's going to win a lot of those contested catches, but give this guy the ball in space and look out. And the other thing you should be looking out for right now is the Vipers Network. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on those notifications because you're going to want to be looking out for all the content we are coming out with here in the next little while. And if you're watching us or listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, make sure to take a second to rate and review it, and make sure you're downloading each and every episode because you're not going to want to miss all the tidbits of information that are coming your way. And hey, with that being said, stay tuned because there's plenty more coming in the coming weeks, and we got you covered. When trades go down, signings happen, we're here for you to break it all down. See you next time.